Mornings on HLN, continue our conversation. Again, we broke the tragic news yesterday that little Nevaeh Buchanan is indeed dead. That was her body found in a shallow grave by a river in southeastern Michigan, encased in cement, again, buried with a beer can nearby. Just such a horrific fate for such a cute little girl. We're talking with Mike Brooks, Pat Brown, about who could have done this. And Pat mentioned it before the break, the two names that keep popping up, George Kennedy and Roy Smith. These were people that knew Nevaeh's mom, Jennifer Buchanan. George Kennedy, as a matter of fact, had some sort of relationship with Jennifer Buchanan. So these were sex offenders who were in way too close to little Nevaeh, should not have been there. Now, they're not suspects, haven't been charged with anything. Mike Brooks, people at home, they hear this, and it's like, okay, what more do you need? What do you need? Let's say, why haven't they been arrested yet? What do you think's going on here with these guys?
Well, they're both locked up right now, and Kennedy, because one of his conditions of his release from jail was that he could not even have a relationship with a woman that has a child, and to stay away from children. So that's the reason he's locked up. And Roy Smith, you know, was one of his running buddies. And Mike, I want to point out something too. We're talking about DNA, and I just was thinking about this at the break. If there was DNA either on that beer can, on her body, anywhere there at the crime scene, it may take some time because there is a national database called CODIS. And what they can do is, its input is from police, both local and federal, and also probation offices that collect evidence, collect the DNA, if you will, from convicted sex offenders and put it into the system. Because there was a case in California not too long ago where the cops had just been out and collected some DNA, and they found that they locked up a guy because they just gotten his DNA. So that's one other thing that, you know, I'm holding out hope that maybe there might be some DNA, if they did collect some, could compare it to the CODIS system.
Gotcha. Okay, Pat Brown, as you look at this, what tells you it may or may not be a George Kennedy or a Roy Smith? What clues are you seeing here?
Well, the most interesting one is the fact that she was encased in cement. One would wonder, why would anybody do that? And I've heard that George Kennedy works with cement. And it is very common for people who are psychopaths, if this man is one, to simply use what is convenient to them. They don't quite sometimes put together the whole plan and say, well, this is not the smartest thing to do. They say, hey, look, I got something here, this will be useful. And they use that in committing their crime, and that can possibly be tracked back. So that's one good thing. And another good thing about that cement, you have to spend a lot of time working with it. So it's possible that that cement also caught some fibers or caught something underneath it. So that could be wonderful. And I hope that it is one of these two men. And I'll say why I hope it is, because they already have those men in custody. They already have access to their vehicles and their houses. Whereas a stranger, they'd have too much time, and you know, that's all you can hope, is that the right people are actually already there.
And Mike, real quick about that cement, is there a way to trace that cement to find out the type, or is possibly bought, anything like that? You know,
they can take a look, you know, if it's quickcrete, because it was believed that they actually used the river water to mix it together. So, you know, did they find the bag? We haven't heard anything about they found an empty bag from the concrete or anything of that nature there at the scene.
Okay, all right, guys, we have to leave it there. Mike, Pat, appreciate it. We'll continue to follow this. We try and find out who killed little Nevaeh.